Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto is in hot soup once again. He has suffered another big blow. Now, we have always maintained on this channel, ever since Kamala Harris was defeated and the Democrats lost their bid to retain their seat, to retain power as the President of the United States, and they surrendered power to the Republicans. And Donald Trump was sworn in as the next president of the United States. William Ruto lost his powers because William Ruto had been identified as the blue-eyed boy for the Western machinations. William Ruto became a puppet, obeying orders of Joe Biden. That is why he took our policemen to Haiti. He was listening to the Bretton Woods institutions. He allowed the GMO and even the LGBTQ through the back door. But things have changed. And we knew something was wrong when the then US ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, resigned. We remember that William Ruto was so close to Joe Biden that in 2024 last year, he was accorded a special state visit. And I remember at some point, Joe Biden even left for him his seat in the White House, and he tasted that seat. William Ruto, signed several treaties with the USA. One of them was Kenya was going to become the first sub-Saharan African nation as a non-NATO ally. A very special accolade that William Ruto was very proud of. But that position is in jeopardy because in the US something is happening. It is recorded that US Senator proposes review of Kenya's non-NATO ally status. And Senator James Rich, who is the chair of the US Senate Foreign Relations Committee, has proposed certain amendments that is going to look into the relationship between Kenya and the USA. Now, ever since Donald Trump ascended to power, we've seen several things happening that were indications that something was wrong. Things were not adding up. Number one, William Ruto himself decided to act in a manner suggesting that he wanted to switch allegiance to the Eastern superpowers. He's gone to China, I think, twice there, and the US warned him because William Ruto went to China and approved the New World Order, something that did not go down well with the US, and they warned. We also saw the United Nations Human Rights Commission review Kenya's human rights history, whether they have obeyed and respected the human rights in accordance with the local and international standards. We also saw the British Broadcasting Corporation coming up with a very damaging report, a very damaging documentary that implicated Ruto as the commander-in-chief when the BBC indicated that there was a combined force between the Kenya Defense Forces and the police that ganged up and killed Gen Zs when they went to the streets to protest against the finance bill and they occupied parliament. So things have not been adding up. Now, in the proposed amendments, what is the US Senate looking for? Number one, they're saying that they want to probe William Ruto and his closest allies if they have any links with China, Russia, and Iran. So they will be looking at Ruto and people like Murkomen, Sudi, Chirchir, those who are very close to power, Farouk Kibet and the likes. Do they have any financial links? Because US feels that something is wrong. Number two, they are going to review whether there is any military links. The Kenyan military, any signed treaty between the Kenyan military and Russia, Iran, or China. Is there any military assistance that they want to give to Kenya? Number three, they are also seeking to probe whether there is any links between William Ruto and his administration and militias such as the Rapid Support Forces that has been causing a lot of mayhem and killing people in Sudan. And lastly, they also want to know whether Ruto administration used the intelligence, or rather took advantage of the intelligence that the US gave him to kidnap and kill innocent Kenyans during demonstrations. So, ladies and gentlemen, things are looking bad. Now, how is this going to be a blow to Ruto himself? Because we have looked at reasons. The reasons are very simple. William Ruto is now switching allegiance to the Eastern superpower, Iran, Iraq, and Russia. And this does not augur well with the USA. What are the possible consequences? Number one, when Ruto secured that position for Kenya as a non-NATO ally, this cemented the relationship between Kenya and the US, and US regarded Kenya as their closest ally in this part of the region in terms of defense, security, and economy. So that was sealed. They are likely to lose that, and USA might find another president, might find another country to take the position of Kenya, because when you are their closest ally, they help you with a lot of intelligence to fight terrorism, Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, and all that. So when they find out that William Ruto is actually aligning to the Eastern superpower, William Ruto is closely linked to the outlawed forces like the Rapid Support, forces, then William Ruto and Kenya is going to lose that. There will be not, much intelligence, because if US gives you such intelligence report, but you are close to those outlawed groups, then you're not helping. You are now part of the problem. You're now part of the militia. Number two, William Ruto will lose, or Kenya will lose its position as a non-NATO ally. Of course, that position was just prestigious. It is just prestige. And you know how William Ruto likes prestige. So they are going to lose that. And even the position of Kenya, the stature in the surrounding is going to fall down. William Ruto, wanted Kenya to look like, they were the best, hosting the climate change summits, in the country. When Joe Biden was there, William Ruto was really pampered. Now, the worst part of it is that if William Ruto is found to be culpable, aligning with the Rapid Support Forces, then he will be declared a criminal, and they might review the ICC cases. You remember that back at home, the opposition, the Law Society of Kenya, Kenya National Human Rights Commission, have always stated that the Ruto administration engaged in atrocities when they say that the Ruto administration, especially the police, engaged in human rights violation when they killed Gen Zs during 2024 protest. During Sabasaba alone, it is said 38 people were killed. During that month alone, Maraga says 60 people were killed. And the opposition is also saying that they are collecting data that will take William Ruto to the Hague. That's not the first time. During Azami protest, Raila, through his lawyer, Paul Mwangi, wrote a letter, accused William Ruto and the then Inspector General, Japheth Koome. They implicated them, that they were part and parcel of killing of their youths and their supporters. So if the US finds William Ruto culpable, then his cases at the ICC might be revived, because there will be too much on William Ruto. There will be too much evidence on him. There will be, very many witnesses willing to do what? Willing to take part and confess what happened. Number three, once William Ruto loses the support of the USA, he will really find it very difficult come 2027 because you know that it was Meg Whitman that was sent by the USA to ensure that William Ruto ascended to power, because William Ruto had basically signed a deal with the USA. He was going to allow GMO, LGBTQ, take all this to Haiti. He had agreed that he was going to do everything that they wanted. So this is going to be a very smooth sail to the opposition, because usually these Western machinations like interfering with our elections. If they so decide to take a back seat and allow Kenyans to choose their own president without interference, William Ruto is going to suffer, because we all know it was the Western powers that aided his victory. And finally, this is going to prove that Rigathi is right. Rigathi has always said that William Ruto welcomed Hemedi here, the leader of the Rapid Support Unit in Sudan. And he has always accused William Ruto as being part of the global terrorism. So if this is found to be right, then Gachagua will be right, because if this is found to be true, then Gachagua will be right. Sometimes people have said that Gachagua is just making a lot of noise. But if this is proved by the Senate, then this will give Rigathi Gachagua a lot of weight, because Gachagua is almost now the opposition leader. And if the international community agree with him, then you know what that means. William Ruto's prestige and the way he carries himself as the best president in Africa is going to lose that stature. And that's why I'm telling you that William Ruto has lost it completely. He will regret this. When we said that it was a blow to William Ruto when Kamala Harris was defeated, some people thought that it was just mere politics. Now you understand what we mean. Do you think William Ruto is going to survive this? If you ask me, I don't think so. We have always seen Hemedi in the country. William Ruto welcomed them. At some point, they even declared their government in the country. William Ruto might just be declared a terrorist by the international community. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.